The Champion Sprint Series kicks off on Sunday at Sha Tin with leg number 1, which is the Bohemia Sprint Trophy. It's a Group 3 handicap over the 1,000-metre dash. That's our feature race. 2 other cup races on the programme as well. We'll be looking at here today on Racing to Win. I'm Andrew Jones. Good to have your company as I'm joined in the studio by Paul Lally and Brett Davis. And Brett, well, not listening to me, he's got it all to do, hasn't he? Really carrying top weight here in the feature.
That's right, Andrew. Yeah, he's a horse that has performed well in the Bohemia Sprint in the past. He was second last year behind Amazing Kids, won it the year before. Some top liners here in Hong Kong have won the Bohemia Sprint, which is a good quality race every year. Of course, Fairy King Prawn won it. Silent Witness won it twice. So it should be a good contest. Smallish field, but as you've highlighted already, not listening to me has to carry all the weight because all of the other ones are down in the handicap and they're on the rise.
And we've welcome back as well to Paul Lally. Happy New Year, Paul, and all that sort of stuff. And welcome back with a huge triple trio as well.
Yeah, looking forward to that. Plenty of Deleros to be won there. The 11.6 million. We estimate it's going to get up to about $20 million. So plenty of money floating around. And yeah, Happy New Year to you guys as well. I'm sure you had a good one.
Absolutely, Paul. Yeah.
Lots of new first starters as well, isn't it? Kick off with it before you say something.
We'll say that for later, perhaps, yes. Yeah, there are, particularly the first race. There's lots of them bobbing up from time to time, but yeah, a number of first starters in that first race, and no doubt Paul's track work will highlight a little bit of interesting footage for us.
Absolutely. The last race is a belter as well, with some Derby clues. It's actually the last race where the scratching, the sole scratching out of the meeting comes out of as well. Good standing. It was super first up. Unfortunately, won't be going round, but replaced by stablemate Rivet. So Tommy Barry switches over there from good standing to Rivet, who goes round in race number 10. So it's a 10-race programme with a couple on the all-weather as well, and the 3 trophy races 5, 7 and 8. 2 all-weather races are races 2 and 3. The opening event, Class 4 over the 1,000 metres. We've got 6 debutants. Best Run and Forever Kindness are 4-year-olds. Golden Dash, Noble Delight, People's Champion and Refined Treasure, all Southern Hemisphere bred 3-year-olds. Peace Combination was a winner of this trip at Happy Valley a couple of starts back. Respect, one of the big odds, 2 starts back, 80 to 1 he was. Hot Pepper was behind Respect on that occasion. Chaparral Star right down at the bottom, gets all the gear changes here, the hood going back on.
Now, a lot of these newcomers have all got speed. Best Runner, Golden Dash, Noble Delight to some exception as well, and Refined Treasure. So there should be a decent enough pace here. It's obviously a little tricky to try and get an accurate speed map with so many first starters, but there's a lot that like to roll forward of the newcomers.
Yeah, there is. Here's one of them, which is Golden Dash. Zach Purden will take them out. He had 1 trial in Oz before he got here in Australia, 1 trial here. He's 1,077 pounds, so he's quite tuned up for this particular contest. And his trial here wasn't too bad as well. You can see him coming down there. Noble Delight, another one of the first starters, only had the 1 trial in New Zealand. He's had 2 trials here, another one at 1,079 pounds. Another one quite forward. He come up favourite as well, this horse, but here's by Jimmy Chu, which was who ran at the mile here in Hong Kong. And Respect, he's an interesting run, this horse, because I've always pegged him as a dirt horse, and then he came out and won down the straight 1,000, and been a very smart horse as well that day. Smart Missile. Super Missile, yeah. Smart Missile's the dad, isn't he? Yeah, Super Missile. And gee, he got up and won. He would have been a tragedy beaten the other day, wouldn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but as you say, what do you do with him?
Well, let's have a look at that run. That's probably a pretty good place to start, isn't it? Respect, because the first 2 kicked a long way clear. Super Missile not highlighted here, but runs second. You got Butte Race Call and Hot Pepper in the field, though. Yeah,
look, we've seen a fair bit of Hot Pepper now, haven't we? And Ray's Calls, I guess, is still, you know, lightly raced. He could be improving. Butte would have to be some chance. He's got the visor going on. But if Respect does what he did there, he'd be close to winning this again, I would have thought. But hard to know whether or not he can, because he didn't fire on the dirt.
No, he's been really keen in his track work too, what I've seen as well. I know he's sort of almost got away from the rider a bit, so he is raring to go, but he's unreliable, isn't he? So I've gone without him.
I think I snuck him in for 3rd just in case, because that was a very good performance on the day.
I don't understand.
So,
if you backed him at 80s, you've got a bit up your sleeve, so you could probably back him again, couldn't you? But Refined Treasure, let's have a look at some of these first starters, and to my eye, this looks the best of them, Paul.
Yeah, I agree. Totally, I've got him on top. I do like this one. He's had the 3 trials. He's got the Cross Noseband on debut. 1,073 pounds. He's got to get across from 2. That's the only question mark. He's in the market at 660, so there is support around him. I think he's a real nice horse going forward.
I'm not against him. I'm just going to let him go on debut. All his trials have been nice. That trial there looks good against some quality horses, take nothing away from it. The time was very slow, though. Very slow time. His other trial at Happy Valley was a reasonable trial too, but that was on a slow scenario as well.
Yeah, that was Premier and House of Fun on his outside there. This is Noble Delight. He's our current favourite, not by much, but he's favourite.
Yep, he's got a lovely fluid action, this horse. If you look at the first half of this trial, he just bounced beautifully into stride. He just felt the trial in the final stages, which concerned me a little bit. I think he's going to obviously come on for the run, which is generally the case for John Symes. But he has got ability, he's got a lovely action, and I think he'll be right there.
Yeah, he's a nice... I think in time he'll want further, though. That's the question.
Yeah.
Golden Dash, just hanging his head to one side a little bit here, but the further he went, the better he went. One trial, one win.
Yeah, his first gallop was on the 3rd of November, so he hasn't done a great deal of work, Paul, leading into this.
No, that's what I mean. He's only had the one trial in Australia and the one trial here, but he should get a nice trail from barrier number 9. Son of Schnitzel, Zach Purden and Danny Schum have got a good record together. And he is quite tuned up, 1,077. He's not like what you call a gross horse by any stretch.
Yeah, I've got him in the tips too, because there was a fair bit to like about that, all considered, the light prep that he's had.
All right, so an interesting one, the opener. 6 debutantes, one of them favourite, Noble Delight, Paul.
Yeah, but I'm going to leave him out. I'm going to go with the other one, Refined Treasure, the one we highlighted there, that he did trial against, as Brad said, it was slow time, but it was against the Class 1 sprinters. And his trials have all been good, I thought. So we'll give him a chance. Butte, he's been running consistently. I think he can run well again. Golden Dash, another of the first starters. A bit of this and a bit of that. A couple of first starters and a couple of old stages here. Hot or Pepper, very consistent without winning. But I'll be back in the 6 each way. 6, 12, 3.30.
I'm not against any of the first starters except for Forever Kindness. I don't think he can feature. I wouldn't be surprised if any one of the other 5 were in there. And I'm actually going to tip People's Champion as my long shot of the day. He had a little bit of a lameness issue at the end of last season. He didn't pass through the vets until sort of late November. His trials have been OK. He wasn't tested in his trial 2 back over the straight 1,000. I thought he trialled particularly well in that. Derek Long is having a ride here for David Hall. I'm going to take a chance with him, just sitting off the pace and closing in over Golden Dash, Respect, Noble Delight. I'm not against Refined Treasure. I'm just worried about the barrier 2 and all the pace up front, what he might find when there's pressure there. But he might find a lot and be too good, but that's the order I went.
Yeah, I think Refined Treasure might be quite handy, actually. So the 6 on top for me as well in the opener.